Hey guys, this is your inspirational RN Era coming to you live with another great video. So today, guys, I am bringing the drama. I'm spilling the tea on how to avoid nurse drama and bullying. Now, for those who just joining, thank you guys for joining our community. Please take this time to like, subscribe, and share because I'm getting ready to drop some gems on this channel on bullying and drama. Two things that I despise and have a pet peeve for. So since I've been a nurse for 7 years, guys, I have been through so much, and I feel like I can help so many nurses out there that might be struggling with this topic. So stay tuned if you're super interested. Let's jump in there. So let's talk about nurse bullying and nurse drama. What is the definition of this? This is basically negativity in a particular place at a particular time over a particular situation. Now, guys, just keep in mind there's always two sides of the story. And the one that created the drama and the one that created the bullying is the ones that their goal is to get so many people on their side as possible because they want to create a group of people with opinions against another party or another individual, right? And then you come into the situation not knowing how to respond, not knowing if you don't respond, the team might retaliate against you or stop talking to you. Because as nurses, we all want to be loved. We give so much of ourselves, and I feel like self-care is where we lack. Part of our self-care is knowing how to deal with bullying and learning how to deal with drama without feeling that there's going to be some retaliation or there's going to be you're not going to fit in anymore because you're not involved in all the bullying and everything. So it can be really hard on your mental health. So let's talk about it, guys. I've actually been awarded to stop fights. Like the last hospital I worked in, I stopped so many fights that the security guard, which was trusting me because I would pay attention to behaviors, y'all. I'm paying attention to people's body languages when they're talking. And when I feel that the energy is turning up, I would just put myself in the middle because I do not like people to get hurt, especially my coworkers, right? The ones that I work with you for 12 hours a day, right? Sometimes more than my family, I'm seeing y'all, right? And I don't want no one to get hurt. But what I learned after being a nurse for 7 years, there's so many ways to diffuse the situation without making the person feel any kind of way, but still respect them as individuals, right? Also, my opinion is I feel like the frustration and the drama that we have for other people and for a situation really is towards our working condition, really is towards working short, really is towards not having enough pay, not feeling validated, not feeling appreciated. These are all bottled up feelings and frustrations that I feel like we don't have a platform to really discuss things without someone really criticizing what we say or oh, this is how you should have said it. We need a safe place where nurses can just give out their frustrations. How many times have I been that nurse for people that pulled me in the supply room, pulled me in the med room, and just spilled their heart out and was just like, I'm thankful that you were here to just listen. Tip number one is what I learned. Unless somebody asks you for your opinion, you don't have to give it, guys. Your opinion is valuable. Your opinion can save a life. But unless the person says, hey, I want your opinion, then if you feel like what you're getting ready to tell them can help them, then give your opinion. That is one way to avoid the drama, because what drama is everybody negative opinion about something that occurred. So in order to avoid it, you can say, I don't feel like it's my place. I don't think that I'm even worthy enough to give my opinion. And I still respect you as my family, because some of us call our coworkers family. I still respect you as my family, but I don't feel like it's my place to tell you what to do in a situation. And I still respect you and love you. It's just that I feel like I can't, I don't have a say in this situation because I wasn't involved. So it's hard for me to formulate any opinion, right? That is one way to put out the fire. Tip number two is as soon as drama comes to you, you have to put the fire out right away. It lets the team know and your nurses and your friends know that, okay, she's just not the girl for the drama. She hates drama. She doesn't like bullying, because you're going to have a pattern of, I don't want to be involved. It's not my business, right? Because again, drama is a negative opinion about something. And it might not even be true, guys. I've seen bullying and drama destroy people's passions, destroy people's relationships, destroy people's safety of feeling like they can't even come to work. I have seen management like just confused on how to put an assignment together because they can't have Mickey with Minnie, because it's gonna possibly have a fight or a confrontation. And it really destroys time, and it takes time away from your patient care, right? Because you spend so much time talking about the drama, and then someone else gives their opinion, and someone else gives their opinion, and it becomes this big thing. And one thing that I learned, it doesn't look good on the unit, because those who do want to work on the unit might go, I might want to avoid that unit, because what I'm hearing is just a lot of toxicity and a lot of drama. And again, the things that we want in nursing, as far as more staff, we're going to turn them away with the drama, right? And then not even want to come into work. I have seen nurses dread to come into work because they want to avoid a certain coworker. They want to avoid a situation. And it's so sad because negativity destroys relationships. Sometimes it's just a false perception on a situation. So again, I say it is not my place, but I truly still love you, my sister, you, my brother. That's not going to change. But it's not my place. I just don't feel I'm worthy enough to give an opinion. And they will respect you for that. Another tip is to put the fire out as soon as it starts. That's tip number 2. Because as soon as it starts, you're letting them know in the beginning, not when you're going, hey girl, spill the tea, tell me what happened. That is going to open the door for you to be involved. And next thing you know, your name is in something. You're like, how is my name in something? All I did was listen. No, because you wound up listening, gave your opinion. So now it looks like you're picking sides, right? Think of it as you are a celebrity. Everything you say, somebody's recording, somebody's writing down. You cannot get back your words out of the atmosphere. So whatever you put out is what you're going to get back. So if you put out positivity, is what you're going to get back. I'm the type of nurse too. If I'm in the patient's room and I feel like there's drama that's occurring in the patient's room amongst family members or spouses, I'm going to do one of the usher moves in church, and I'm going to moonwalk Michael Jackson myself right on out of that room, which I recently did this week when I was working. Actually, the day before yesterday, I felt the spouses having a conversation that I shouldn't have ears to. I respectfully stepped out of the room and came back when I felt like everything was quiet and calmed down, because it's not my job to be in their business. That's their business, right? Has nothing to do with me. My job is to do patient care. I hate when patient care gets delayed because we're talking about something that is negative. It just takes up so much time of patient care, and it's insane, right? I don't like seeing people feeling isolated or not validated. And part of drama is somebody not feeling validated and acknowledged. I remember stopping a fight. I remember seeing someone run up on a unit, a young lady. Now, I'm from New York, so maybe my spider senses, y'all, I'll be listening and paying attention to every movement, every bell, every sound. My head is like, my anxiety is times 10. Now, that's not because I was in the service. It's because I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And so I learned to pay attention to my surroundings. And I noticed a young lady come to the unit looking around. She instantly goes to the patient's room without stopping in the nursing station. I can tell by her body language something was wrong. When I went in the room, she just started going off, guys. She was just like, somebody's going to get their butt whipped. She started taking off her jacket. They didn't take care of I think it was her grandmother. I'm her granddaughter. I think the grandma had like a pacemaker box or something that was connected, and no one told the granddaughter about the instructions of it. And there was a lot of anxiety. And I'm like, you know so much about healthcare. You must be a nurse. You got to be a nurse. And that's a tip number 3. Redirect the conversation. When you're in an uncomfortable situation, redirect it. It helps to take the focus off what the target situation is at the moment. It automatically stopped her, and she had to think about what to say to me, because she was like, no, I'm not a nurse. I said, but you know so much. You know a lot, and she did. And she was like, oh, I didn't think of it like that. Like, I did want to go back to school. And I was like, girl, you need to go back to school. Like, don't focus your energy on this. And I am sorry. That's tip number 4. I apologize for things that I didn't even do, guys. Whether it was a nurse that didn't meet a patient's expectations, or family expectations, or the hospital didn't meet the expectations, or whoever, I apologize. And my patients be like, what do you apologize for, Tierra? You didn't do anything. But I apologize, because I know that it caused some frustration, which can influence how I do my job with the patient, right? And let me tell y'all, back then, before I was saved, I used to have so much pride. I could not even freaking apologize. I couldn't even say the word no. Now I'm a no girl and I apologize. And nothing is wrong with that, with apologizing and just saying, you know what, I am so sorry that I didn't meet your, even when a patient assignment you get and you guys don't work out, you can say, I'm so sorry I didn't meet your expectations. Would you like for me to get another nurse? People do not know how to respond when you're calm, when you're clear about what you're saying, and you validate what they're saying. They don't know how to take you. It makes them go, think about what to say back to you, because they wasn't expecting that. They was expecting, girl, what? And all that gets you is nowhere, broke and jobless. And then you're in drama when you don't need to be, right? And then it creates gossip, which gossip can destroy opportunities. It can destroy jobs. It can destroy your reputation. In the hospital, you got to think of it as a small town, or in the don't matter where you work at, think of it as a small town. You tell one person and everybody in that small town is going to know. I remember people coming to me when there was a couple of patients that I was working with that, I did something to save their life or something. And I was just a new grad at the time. And people would come to me like, girl, I remember you. You the one that came in and caught that DIC. And you the one that came in. I was shocked about what people knew about me that I didn't even know about myself, how people were seeing me. It's all about how you want people to see you. Do you want them to see you in a positive light or a negative light? If you want to be known for that drama girl, yes, you might have people on your team, but just be mindful. If they're close to you and they know what's going on and they're doing the talking, who are they going back to talk to? Because people who gossip, they have to talk to at least about 20 people a day. I don't know what it is about gossip, but people have to. And it just causes so much friction between you and your family. Again, I call my team my family, because I have met some amazing nurses that and also been in so much situations. I had a friend, quick story, that had some situation. There was a nurse that had a situation with a manager, and they got into it. The nurse confided into another nurse that was working on the unit, told them what was going on. She was coming to work anyway. The manager took her off the schedule. She showed up to work. They got into an argument automatically. So whoever was around that argument, anxiety was times 10, because they didn't know how to take it. They didn't know to run, to stay, what. And then one other team member decided to join in and kind of take the management side and kind of told the manager some things about the nurse. It's like, yeah, the nurse came in with attitude, and the nurse was taken off the schedule and all this extra stuff. And that person that was telling the manager all that felt so bad and confided. Another nurse was like, oh, I should never said anything. Now my team is going to think I'm this and I'm not, or I'm a teller, whatever. And I'm going around telling people stuff. And I don't want people to see me like that. Again, it's how you want people to see you. What are people talking about, right? You don't want anything in the atmosphere that you might have put out that you didn't even know you put out. And by putting out, it's the first step is when you don't listen to it and you just like you resist it and it stops where it's at. I think that's the best way. Instead of waiting until you know about the situation, you have an opinion, you told people about your opinion, then you're like, I don't want no drama, I don't want to know about it. You're too late. You're already involved, right? You formulated your own false perception of the situation because you didn't get your facts straight and get the full story, right? And as a formal manager, y'all know I had to be the problem solver. I had to be the one to get the tea, to get the full story, to find out who was telling a lie, who was telling the truth, to find out, okay, who I need to separate, who I might need to watch, who might be hurt, because I believe in workplace violence. I believe people build frustrations over time. And nurses especially, we do not have a safe platform to discuss things. I remember begging my hospital prior to the one I'm at now and saying, we, especially new grads, need a safe place to go to take all our frustrations out of the day, whether it's about a doctor dialogue that happened that didn't go so well, or a family member that got on somebody's nerves, or somebody. And I told the upper management team why that is so important, because I feel like people just need validation and acknowledgement, or a safe place to go where they can just be themselves and they can say, hey, I had a rough day, or hey, I didn't agree with when the orders went in and I had to do it anyway, or I didn't like this or I didn't like that. It doesn't give nurses a safe place to go. And so it creates so much toxicity on the units because these nurses are built up with frustration. No one is going, you know what? I validate what y'all saying. Trust and believe I'm in the same boat as y'all. As a manager, I made sure I validated my team. Whatever they was telling me about being on that floor and doing these hours and their pay and things that they desire, I was right there with them and say, look, I was in the same boat with you. And I validate what you're feeling because what you're feeling is so real. It is so real to you. It's your reality. It's your truth. It's your story. And don't let nobody tell your story. Don't let nobody recreate a story and create drama out of it. It's your story. Things that go on with you, it's your story. Don't let nobody steal your light. That's another thing. Because people who like to gossip and create drama, they steal the light off the person, right? They're taking a story, adding to it. Girl, she said this, he said that. And then by the time you get to the 50th person and you hear what they saying, you be like, that is nothing compared to what happened. But that's what happens. We create a false perception of reality of what really happened, what should have happened, what could have happened, right? So unless somebody's getting hurt, if I can sense somebody getting hurt on the unit, oh, I'll definitely be in the middle of that because I do not like people getting hurt on the job. I don't like people getting put in situations that can be harm. We are in these times where we just have to be very vigilant. We have to pay attention to people's body languages. Sometimes when you notice you're talking to somebody and their mind is just not there, nurses come in frustrated, maybe something going on with their kids or something at home, and they like, I remember my mom passing a couple of weeks ago, guys, and I had to be floated for a minute, and then I wasn't on assignment. And all I remember doing was staring at a wall. Literally, I was in the ER staring at a wall because that's how much frustration has built up. And I just didn't know what to do with it. And I just stood at the wall. And some nurse walked by and was like, obviously, you're not okay. What's wrong? What's going on? And I just remember just like a blank stare, like I can't believe my life is falling apart because that's what I felt. But I try not to carry my personal stuff, on these units and expect people to give me life-saving tips and opinions or do something about my situation. I try not to discuss something that I know I cannot control. Only God knows and can control the situation, right? And if you're putting your faith in the right place, you good. Because I put all my faith in God. I put my career choices, things I want to do in nursing, my desirable salaries, my frustrations, and I tell God and I tell him everything. And I say, God, I'm putting this in your hands. I know you see what's happening because there's some people that will do stuff to you in this field that should never happen. And as a new grad, and especially going through nursing school, they do not talk about being blackmailed from certain jobs and certain things. They don't talk about when you work in a hospital, how the politics work in a hospital, when people are favoring certain people and other people feel left out. They don't talk about these things. And then we don't have a safe place to go with the frustrations and things that we're going through. Because let's be honest, sometimes, like for me, losing my mom, I was going through, y'all. I don't even know how I was still going to work. I was just like, only a few people. I was just like, just my mom just passed and I'm here though, guys. I just wanted to validate my team, let them know that I'm still here. I'm still working. I'm still focused. It's not going to delay my care. It's not going to stop me from doing what I love. But it just, on the inside, I felt like my world was falling apart. My world literally was falling freaking apart. And I had so much comfort and so many people that just embraced that moment for me and just let me be in my moment, just let me be there. But, sometimes you come to work and you're like, look, I just want to listen to my music. I just want to read this chapter of this book that I've been holding on to for 30 years. And I don't want to even discuss certain things. Or you can even change your unit or change your shift, right? There's so many changes you can make to get to a unit maybe that you might wind up on a unit that you really didn't want to work, but that the team meets your expectations. And then like you feel like you finally met your family. Like I always had those desires. Like I'm going to work somewhere and I'm gonna have the bomb team. I'm gonna have the bomb family. Like we're gonna look out for each other on the unit. We're gonna help each other. Teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. And because sometimes these people you have to see all the time, guys. You have to see these people 12 hours a day, a shift, especially when you're working overtime. So you want to respect each other. Look, I respect all my queens and kings out there that got to come to work and be a hero in these times. That takes strength, y'all. That takes strength amongst coming from all your personal drama that no one knows about. And you still smile. You still go into these rooms and you still make magic happen. It takes strength to be a nurse. And it's hard to go home to some family member and try to disclose all these things about the field and nursing, period. And they just like look at you with a blank stare, like, girl, I understand. And you're like, no, you don't. Or you had a bad shift and you're like, like, And it's it's how you create your atmosphere. When I come into work, I make sure people know I come early. I let them know when I come, I want you guys to go home on time. And I hope you give me the same love when I come, when you guys come back in the morning and I'm ready to go home. I'm coming early because I want y'all to be relieved on time. I'm ready to rock and roll. And it's validation that I'm here to take good care of these patients overnight while you guys get to sleep, and then we'll see each other again in the morning. And it's all about the energy you put out, right? Some nurses, they just want a friend. Some nurses just want to be heard, right? They have so many great ideas about healthcare. Create business plans, y'all. This is the time to, those ideas you guys got up here. I mean, I have met some nurses that got some great ideas. Create business plans. Write this down. You might have $1 million business plan that God's been giving you in your sleep, in your visions, and the things that you see yourself doing, or the things that you know, because nursing is an art and a science. There's so many ways to do the job, right? We all doing the job, but there's so many ways to do it. You might have $1 million idea planted already and you don't even know it, or a business idea that can give you that financial freedom, that can give you the customer base that you want, right? That can give you that lifestyle that you desire. So go after those business plans. Take that energy and use to how can I better my nursing lifestyle instead of talking about the drama, right? This is definitely your girl, Tiara. Hopefully this video was super, super, super helpful. I know, I don't know what month is bullying. I forgot. I think, is it March? I don't even remember. But I do not like bullying. I don't like people feeling isolated. I don't like anxiety buildup, or it's awkward between coworkers, or maybe you're trying to give a report and then everything is weird. It doesn't make you want to come in and do this again, So hopefully, guys, this was helpful for those who maybe work in an environment that is toxic, or you're trying to avoid certain situations. Because now, y'all, I have so much peace in my career. I love the headspace that I'm in. I love the space that I'm quick to step out of room. When a patient said, get out of my room, I am the first one out the door. I'm like, because that's their home for now. That's their temporary home. If they need a time out in a space, I have seen nurses that just disregard what a patient is asking for, and it's like, I'm coming in here anyway. Or I respect patients I think of it as me. If I'm in a hospital and I don't want to be there, now I'm sick, and this is my only space where I can control my space around me, and I'm asking for respect and saying, hey, I need a moment, and I'm not giving that, I feel terrible. I feel like I'm going to feel terrible. I feel like, okay, I'm not in a safe place, right? So hopefully this girl, Inspiration Nurse, can help you guys out with your nurse drama and your bullying. Hopefully you know how to diffuse the situation. We talked about the tips on how to not be involved, period. Just remember what you don't put out. If you don't put out any words on it, if somebody's asking you to give an opinion, it's up to you to give them that opinion. You got to ask yourself, are they going to take it and actually use it, or am I wasting my time? And say, hey, this is really not my place. Using that word is just a quick way and a safe way to just say, hey, I still love you. I just don't think this is my place to give my opinion. And let me tell you, it diffuses that fire, honey. And I will talk to you guys on the next one.